Hello, I'm Jeff Pape with WrestlingGear.com. Today we're going to talk about 5 mistakes that I think a lot of teams might make. So definitely you want to try and limit these 5 mistakes if at all possible. The first mistake I think some teams make is wait too long. A lot of times people don't start thinking about ordering their uniforms till November or maybe even a couple weeks before that first tournament. So you have to understand that most of these singlets are custom made or at least somehow customized. They are going to take 2 to 3 weeks minimum if you want to put a lettering on it or logos. And oftentimes a lot of these singlets will take 4 to 6 weeks. That's pretty common delivery time. And then some singlets, especially during the season, you'd be looking at 6 to 8 weeks. So I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is not giving themselves enough time. And if you factor in, if you got 5 or 10 people on your committee, and you got to go back and forth on logo design and colors and singlets and what vendor you're going to use, you really probably need to almost double that time, where you got 6 or 8 weeks to kind of finalize your singlets and get them printed. So the second mistake I think teams make is they buy solely on price. So are you going with some guy that's kind of new in the business and just kind of getting started and is pretty aggressively priced? Or are you going with an established vendor? Like we've been around since 1998. I ran my own kids club for 10 years and I still coach as an assistant coach for 3 or 4 years. Been wrestling for 10 years too, so I have close to 25 years into wrestling. So I've seen a lot of good singlets and a lot of bad singlets. So don't just base your buying decision solely on price. Make sure the company, and they'll all tell you they can do a good job. I mean, no one's going to admit, hey, I'm going to do a schlocky job on your singlets, but just make sure that that someone else has used that company before. The third mistake I think people make is going to their T-shirt vendor to print their singlets. I have yet to find one T-shirt guy that can print on singlets. What happens is what happened with this logo. So this is one of the singlets we gave to a T-shirt guy, and we asked him to print our logo on it. And what you'll find is when you pull the singlet like this, you can see that after only one wash and the logo is destroyed. You can already see it's cracking. So just be sure that whatever vendor you go work with, that number one, that they can print on it, and number two, that you're going to get a guarantee. So I think the fourth mistake that club leaders make is not asking about the guarantee. There's one dealer that they only guarantee it for a year. They say if you get a year out of the singlet, you're doing pretty good. That's not up to our standards. We want to see a 3 or 4 or 5 year guarantee on them. And for the most part, Brute, Adidas, Asics, Cliff Keen, Matman all guarantee their singlets for life, as long as they're taken care of and washed properly. So be sure you understand what kind of guarantee you're getting. And if you go to that local T-shirt guy that doesn't do a lot of silk screening on singlets, you are going to have problems generally with logos coming off. The fifth common mistake I see that increases your costs of what you're spending on uniforms is when you get a new leader in there or you get a new captain and he decides he wants to come up with some new singlets. And just understand that it's not really a mistake to change your uniforms, but just understand if you change your uniforms every year or every 2 years, it is going to become quite a bit of an expense. And it's an expense that I think you can manage, but just understand that, hey, if you're going to change your uniforms every 2 or 3 years, or you're going to get new uniforms every year, that you put that in your budget. One of the advantages is keeping with the same singlet is I have some high school teams that have had the same singlets for 8 to 10 years, and all they do is buy 6 or 12 units every year or every other year and just kind of replace the old ones. So by picking a uniform and sticking with it, you can greatly reduce your costs of buying singlets. Alright, this has been a video on 5 common mistakes that maybe some club leaders will make. Hopefully you don't make any of them. My name is Jeff Pape with WrestlingGear.com. I'm the owner, and I hope you buy your singlets from us at WrestlingGear.com next year, and we look forward to helping you get ready for the mat. Take care and good luck this season.